Hello and welcome to Bricks and Banter, the show with real talk from the custom LEGO community. I'm your host as always, Billy, and today's guest is a great friend of mine. You might know him for his Indiana Jones leg hate, his phenomenal Rainbow Six figures, or his vector collecting. Whatever it may be, we have none other than Colin, aka TK underscore 1776 on today. So with no further ado, here's my conversation with Colin. And we're here with Colin, aka TK underscore something something something. I don't know the letters in your numbers. Whatever.
Rude.
Same difference.
It's not that difficult.
I know it's 1776, but I had to disrespect you just to start off the
Yeah,
podcast.
that's facts.
So, how are you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
How is everybody?
Everybody?
Yeah.
It's
Talking to all our viewers here. Hello.
Oh, big brain. See, I was
Trying to
just, I'm
include
so
them.
selfish.
Come
I
on.
was thinking about me and all the clothes in my
Yeah.
closet right now.
Yeah.
How are you doing, listener? I hope you're doing well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's understandable.
This is like it turned into a Dora the Explorer where you start
Yeah.
talking back. Can you say this? Wow. Oh man. So anyway, I'm glad to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, it's about time.
It is about time. I figured, if you weren't going to listen to the podcast, you didn't deserve to be on them. So
Well, I finally started listening.
you finally caught up.
Mhm.
But yeah, in all seriousness, you were like one of the first people on the list, and then just kind of got sidetracked. So here you are now, though.
Well, it's the thought that counts, right?
Right, of course, of course. So just getting started off here in typical Bricks and Banner fashion, we'll just start off with how you got started in the customs community and all that.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I had pretty humble backgrounds, like most people. Sharpie clones. When I was young.
Perfect.
I feel like all great modders started there at some point, right?
Yeah.
You got your new clones from your Star Wars sets, and you saw some Sharpies on your on the table, and you were like, I could make my own clones. I still have some of them actually.
They
Some
look
of
just
my,
about the
my
same as your
favorite
normal
customs.
figures, right?
You know what? That's yeah. Well, I mean, I'm new to painting, so don't dog on me too
Your
much.
painting's been actually really good. We'll get into that later for sure.
All right. Yeah. So that was like, I've been like customizing air quotes, as you can say, for a long time. I was never really in the community that much. Like, I was not on Flickr at all. So I never really had that growing up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just like Googled like custom Lego minifigures every once in a while, and I saw some cool stuff like Saber Scorpion.
Oh yeah.
That was always something that I really
Yeah.
liked, and I discovered Brick Arms back when he actually sold stuff on his website, and I bought from him. I think Brick Arms is the first company that I found, and then I think not long after that I found Eclipse Graphics.
Very based.
Yeah, the MVP of the custom Lego
The
community.
goat.
So, I worked on some simple stuff like the clones, and bought Brick Arms for my dinky little minifigures. Didn't really make like actual customs. I went to one brick fair like probably when I was like 14 or 15, and at that time, like any of my friends that I had, which hopefully some of them are listening to this if they're good friends.
Shout out Colin's friends.
Any of them that were into Lego, they kind of got out of it pretty quickly. So, I went with my dad, and, I felt like really awkward because I saw a bunch of little kids running around, and I was like, felt kind of embarrassed. And I was like, oh, I'm too old to be here. When, but it's just something that's stuck with me for a long time, and you just kind of you don't care anymore like what other people think. It's just like it's something that I enjoy, and it's part of my childhood, and I'd like to have it around for a lot longer than that. So who cares? Like,
Yeah.
if it's
hell
not
yeah.
your thing, it's not your thing. Whatever. I don't feel embarrassed about it anymore. So yeah.
It's not a phase, Mom. It's my Lego addiction.
Yeah. But the thing that actually got me into the custom community was actually a competition that Victor was doing almost 2 years ago
Right,
now. I think
right.
March was when I posted my first post, which was an entry into his competition,
Mhm.
and like that just kind of like got the, I don't know how, I have no idea how, but it got the attention of, like you and a couple other guys. Like I think you were literally one of the first people to like, to post it, and that was like, dude, I was going nuts because like before I got in the community, like you and Danny, Pro Snarfboarder, you
Right.
two, like every single time you posted, I was like so hyped. I was like, hell yes, Billy posted. Or, I mean, at the time I didn't really know your name, but I was like, oh, BM4 posted. Oh, Pro Snarfboarder posted. And now it's like I talk to you guys on the regular, so it's like it's cool as shit.
It is. That's such an awesome feeling to
Yeah.
like just grow into the community and start talking to all
Yeah.
those older members. It is awesome. I remember when you first made that post, like I was seriously blown away. I was just like, oh, new badass figure from just a brand new person. This is sick. I just loved how many like layers and details to the figure
Yeah.
you had. I think like specifically one of my things like I DM'd you about was just
Mhm.
like I keep looking back to it and I find more details
Yeah.
you had in it. Like
Yeah.
it was really stellar. I liked it a lot.
I appreciate that. That's honestly probably one of the best, like, at that point, it was like one of the most custom minifigures I had made, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything before that was pretty simple, but like that, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna win this EG contest. Heck yeah, I'm gonna go all in for this. And like at that point, I literally was not like planning on this becoming a page at all. Like I just wanted
Sure.
to enter, but like I didn't want to do it on my normal account, so I made a new account.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I coming from that perspective, I hadn't like obviously I didn't know like that necessarily. So it really did just snowball you into like transforming it into like a whole hobby. It's kind of crazy.
Right.
Like I
Well,
mean, you
and-
took your hobby and turned it into like okay, well
Yeah,
now I have a crippling addiction to plastic.
debt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like it just kind of opened up a world because like I didn't know to the extent of what people were doing with minifigures,
Mm.
and like once I realized that, I was like 100% down for it. I was like, shoot, because my dad does like model kits and stuff,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like I've done a little bit, so like we already had some of the tools, and I was like, shoot, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah, didn't you have like you have like an airbrush, right? Or something?
Yeah, we have an airbrush that we've had for a few
And you've never
years.
used it, and I was like,
Nope.
I remember at one point because I was trying to experiment with an airbrush, but I'm like, I didn't want to
Yeah.
drop $100 on it.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, use it.
Yeah, I
Colin,
definitely want it. Well, now that I'm painting now, I'm definitely gonna use it.
Yeah, that'll be perfect for just your base coats and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta bust that bad boy out, especially for all those Destiny armors to just get through them quick.
I don't know if I'm ready for that, man. I did not realize, like, once I physically laid them all out, I was like,
Dude,
wow, this is
I
this is a lot
told
of
you.
projects.
I told you. When I saw your story just saying like, "Hey, free commissions for
Yeah.
anyone who wants it," my jaw like physically dropped. I was like, "Oh no, this
You
poor
don't
boy, he
even
doesn't know
know.
what he's doing."
I mean, I'm still excited for it. I'm not like regretting it at all, because I mean, I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Because I really wanted to paint a lot of different things, but I didn't necessarily want to buy all of them.
Mhm.
And I kind of figured this would be a good chance for not only me to learn, but for other people to get cool stuff that they wouldn't normally make, or be able to afford to make, because commissions are expensive. Like,
Yep.
in order to make it worth it for modders and stuff, like they gotta be expensive. So, for me to do something to get experience with something that I just started doing with painting, and, it helps out other people in the community, why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
They pay for the materials, that's all that matters. You pay for shipping, cool.
yeah. No, it's really heartwarming to see you just kind of giving some charity work, but
I mean, I guess you could call it that. I wasn't quite esteeming myself quite like that, but
you're a philanthropist to the community. But no, I'm sure it'll be awesome, and I'm excited to see all the different ones you whip up. Because, like you said, you wouldn't have necessarily bought them all for yourself, and you get to have the experience of making them and enjoying that process, and then letting them
But
off and knowing
also,
they'll be in a good home.
Another thing too, like with some of the guys that did buy stuff, and they're having me paint. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they have specific, characters that, they want it to be based off of. So it's not only, new things I'm going to learn. It's, stuff I wouldn't normally like
Yeah,
think
I've thought
about
of.
painting. Right.
Sure.
So it's like something they like. So it's like, okay, that's not necessarily something I would do. So, but it's still, learning something new.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited to see what you whip up. So I don't want to jump right into politics here, Colin,
oh
but
boy.
you're pretty outspoken about
Mhm.
your anti-Indiana Jones legs.
Oh, don't even say it.
Sorry. Let me just rephrase that for you. Indiana Jones legs.
That's
Please.
it. I'm done.
Please, just leaves
the
the
audio.
leaves the podcast. But please walk us through
Okay, so,
why you're so adamant on this.
I honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the combinations of colors, or if
Brown
it's just,
and tan.
yeah, but it's more than that. It's more than that. It's
Bro.
just the design of the legs, like, or another thing that I've also thought of, I've always liked Indiana Jones, but I was never like super into it until Lego made the sets,
Mhm.
and I got super into Indiana Jones. Like, I got the Lego game, well, all of them. I think there was like, 3, right?
I recall too.
Okay, well, I played through both of them completely.
Yeah, me
And
too.
I actually remember, I think it was the second one. I like almost completely played through the whole thing, and then I accidentally deleted it or something. It got deleted somehow, and I was heartbroken, dude. I was like, oh my gosh, what? So I don't know if that was traumatic for me or something, or if it's just that I got so many of the Lego sets, I had so many of the legs, saw them so much that I just built this resentment towards them. I hate them. I just hate them. They're so ugly. They're so ugly.
That's interesting. See,
I
I
can't
grew
help
up
it.
the same way with having a bunch of Indiana Jones legs,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just became my favorite though because of that.
Because
Because
you're normal.
Wow, wow. But dude, I used to play all the Lego games like religiously with my cousin.
Yeah.
Thinking back, it's kind of wild that those games like were made to have cheat codes in them. Like that was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
It's amazing. I wish games would do that more.
Yeah. Like as soon as we got it, like a new game, it was like, all right, let's see what GameSpot has to say about the cheat codes on this.
Yeah. It just makes the game, silly. Like, after you play through it the first time.
Yeah.
That's usually what I did. Like, in the first Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare,
Mhm.
they had, like, the cheat codes that you could do in the campaign. I think you had to complete it one time or something. And, like, those were just fun to do.
Yeah, sure.
And, like, if you play through the campaign again with them, it's just, like, it puts a whole new aspect to it. And
Yeah.
it's just silly.
I mean, I wonder if I could recover those saves. Does Xbox games like save to the disc? No, it's
Oh, I
like
don't
per
know, dude.
console, I think.
Don't ask me about that. I'm not a tech savvy
I don't, dude.
person.
But there's at least probably like 10 Lego games that me and my cousin like 100%ed. Like
Oh,
no
yeah.
joke, 100%ed.
I never
The
even
only
really
one-
liked Harry Potter, and I freaking played.
I actually
the
never
Lego
played Harry Potter Lego. Yeah, because I never grew up watching
Yeah.
Harry Potter or anything. The only game I never completed 100%, and we literally were like 99.9, was the first DC superheroes game, because
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. I played those too.
yeah, that one was actually really good because there's like open world aspect to it.
Yeah,
Like what?
yeah. Because
Um,
I think that was like, kind of like a turning point in Lego games, like
Yeah,
where they kind of started to do different things.
it was huge. Yeah, a better brand like video game progression than the Pokemon franchise right now. But
I
sorry.
don't know anything about Pokemon.
It's okay. It's okay.
I've literally never
I'm just
really played it.
butthurt. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, to get, I think it was Supergirl, you had to like, it was just like dumb what you had to go
Yeah.
through to get it. It was like the gold bricks kind of thing, which we would typically complete, but like you never needed like maxed for stuff, if I recall correctly. And that one you literally need like maxed and some other stuff. It was stupid.
Mm.
So we just didn't bother, but we got like every single other character besides that. Good times. We gotta bring, what if, I don't know. I gasped like I had an idea, but I actually don't have an idea.
You trying to do a Lego Star Wars LAN party at the next
Yeah,
fair?
that's kind of where I was going. I'm like, what could we do like collaboratively
Not,
through a
dude.
Lego
I think
game,
that would actually be pretty cool.
right? We just
But
Twitch stream
of
it.
course, with you, you're gonna do $5 for
Of
5 minutes of
course,
playing.
of course, of course. And also, I expect the PayPal invoice that I sent you before this podcast to be fulfilled by the time we're
yeah,
out.
yeah,
So,
sure. Right. Yeah, definitely, totally.
you know,
Definitely gonna fulfill that.
of course.
Another thing that I kind of want to talk about. Hopefully, you're fine with me getting a little deep on here.
Ooh.
Hashtag deep. So after high school, because I was in a JROTC in high school, and both my parents were in the military, so it was kind of like, I don't want to say expected, because my parents, both made it very clear to me, like, we don't expect you to go into the military, you don't have to. But, they were both Air Force, and I just kind of felt like, that was what I needed to do, and, I always thought it was cool, but, I never really personalized, like dug in deep to see, if that was truly what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I went through high school in JROTC, assuming I was, going to go into the military or whatever. And then, like, one of my best friends, I met lifeguarding, and his dad went to the Naval Academy, and he's like a colonel in the Marines, and, his older brother was a Marine, so he was like, he was on a path to military no matter what.
Yeah.
And he was like, for those of you who don't know, I live in Virginia, and he was like, oh, dude, I'm going to go to VMI, Virginia Military Institute. He was like super hyped about it, and he basically like, he got me into it, and I was like, hell yeah, let's go together, let's be sweet. And, I went there, and I was definitely a lot more personally interested in like the medical field. Like I had considered, like EMT, fire and rescue, and but VMI didn't, or also nursing. I was considering that for a while, but VMI didn't have like anything like that. Like the closest thing that they had was a biology degree, and I was definitely leaning more towards, oh, VMI is awesome, It's more for the status of going to VMI and then moving out of the military after that. So I wasn't really, thinking about, the major that much. So, I went to VMI, and I was only there for a week, because...
Whoa.
Yeah, so the beginning of VMI is called Hell Week.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty much they're trying to weed out everybody who is not 100% dedicated to be there.
Right.
And, for a while, this was kind of difficult for me to talk about, but, at this point, I've accepted it. It's whatever. Like, it's my past, whatever. I'm not ashamed about it anymore. But, I was there, and I was just like, it's horrible. Like, they're, like, drilling into you. Like, it's tough. It's physically demanding. It's mentally demanding. Like, you have no, they shave your head when you go in. It's like basic training. You're just you're a rat. That's what you're called when you go in. You're a rat, because you're like the lowest life form that there is. And going through that, I was just like, why am I putting myself through this? I don't even want to do biology. I was like, this sucks. This is pointless. And it definitely also was not like what I expected it to be. Like the school in general, like the atmosphere just seemed not at all like what I had expected.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend, he still went through, like he did great. That's awesome, but I realized it wasn't for me. But when I left, like I just felt like a failure. Like I felt like I did not live up to my parents' expectations. I did not live up to my Army instructor at JROTC in high school. I did not live up to his expectations, because he was like hyping me up to all his Army friends. Oh, like one of my students is going to VMI, he's gonna be a badass. So I just felt like when I came home, I just felt so shitty and defeated. And I was still I was having nightmares after I left that, I was still getting screamed at and stuff. Like, it
Oh,
sucked. And, you know, the first thing that I went to when I came home, I mean, not like immediately. The first thing I did was slept for like a couple days straight. Um, but like the first thing that I came back to naturally was Legos. Like my dad bought me several sets from the store, and I just chilled at home and slept and built Legos. And I realized like how much mentally and emotionally like it really helped me. Like it's just such a great like hobby for people to do. And obviously I did have friends that were there for me, and my girlfriend at the time, who has been extremely supportive with my page too. And she does a lot of photography, so she taught me a lot of things too, that has helped this page. But it just made me realize you know it's okay to not do what people expect you to do, and to do what you want. And that's something that you really have to get in, do some soul searching for, to know what you want to do and to be okay with it. And without talking too much about it, I have plans that are related to this for the future.
yeah.
But I'm not gonna get too much into that. But
Can't be
it
leaking the secret sauce now.
yeah, exactly. But I did end up taking an EMT class, and I volunteered for a while, and I realized that's not what I wanted to do. And sometimes that's what it takes. Like
Yeah.
and for a while, like I felt really depressed because I was like, I've tried all these different things and I feel like shit about all of them. And so I just felt like I wasn't going anywhere until some opportunities came up in the community, this community, that I've never felt better about in my life. And it took a while for me to accept that, but you know what? I'm gonna do what I want to do, so just make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have much to contribute to that, but that was really insightful. And
Yeah, that's all right.
no, it's certainly like inspiring to really. It's hard with outside
Yeah.
pressures to follow what you truly feel, but
Mm.
I'm
Well,
glad you're on a
and
different path now.
yeah,
One that
I
you're
am
happier
too.
with.
And a big thing with that is mental health. And I think a lot of people, I think it's getting a lot better in our society with people talking about it. But
Yeah.
you know, it's one of those things that's like, if you do not feel well, like you need to talk to somebody. Like you know, I know people hear this all the time, but it's like you need to talk to somebody. It's okay to talk,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, and it
people
doesn't
need to
have to
be okay to
be.
talk.
It don't gotta be some professional or your parents or anybody.
Yeah,
You don't have to admit that to anybody. Just whoever
no,
you find a comfort with and you think will listen to you.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
even me, dude. If you're feeling like garbage, shoot me a message.
yeah,
I will
absolutely.
I will, at a minimum, reply to every single person that messages me.
Yeah, goes the same
We
for
might
me.
not end up being best buddies and having a conversation every single day, but like, if that's what you need, like, I will always be there for anybody.
No doubt. Yeah, there's some legitimate bonds with people I've made here, and they've
Yeah,
opened up things to me just because there's not other people for them to turn to. And I mean,
right.
it's a humbling thing just being a part of this community and to have
Yeah,
that connection with other people. And I mean, I've done the
definitely.
same. I mean, it's, yeah,
Well, and I think that's honestly one of my favorite parts about this community, because every community has toxic people or negatives, annoying things about them, but like
mm,
this community was so inviting to me. Like it kind of blew my mind, like how quickly I started having conversations with people, and got into group chats and stuff. Like I posted one minifigure, and people were talking to me, and it's like cool. Like I wasn't, obviously it wasn't because I was a big page at the time. I'd literally just started.
yeah,
It's just because people are cool,
yeah, no
and
doubt.
I think that's amazing.
I've roamed the internet in many hobbies,
Yeah,
and this is obviously my favorite. I mean, it's the one I
yeah,
spend my most time with.
mm,
There's very few bad apples.
Yeah.
Or to quote Sam, bad hombres.
He does say that a lot, doesn't
He
he?
does. I love Sam.
Yeah.
Um,
But overall, I mean, I definitely think, embracing what you love is one of the best mentally healthy things you can do.
mhm.
Um, and, unless you only know shitty people, the support that you don't think you're going to get, but you will get from, family members or people that you know is amazing. Like, like I said, I was kind of embarrassed about, this hobby, but like, I when I first made this page, I blocked a bunch of my friends.
I've
Uh,
yeah, I did
yeah,
that too.
because Instagram's kind of wonky with how it recommends pages to people, and I did not want my
Mhm.
page to get recommended to people because I had my first name in it, and my friends don't know a lot of people named Colin, so like I feel like they can make the connection pretty quickly, and I just felt super embarrassed about it, especially because at the time, like it's not like I was a decent page. I didn't have any followers, so it just kind of seemed like something that was just kind of lame. But you
Yeah.
know, my page ended up getting recommended to like one of my best friends, and she was like, she sent me a screenshot. She was like, "Is this you?" And dude, my heart dropped. I was like,
Uh,
"What?" I was like, "How did you find that?" But she was super cool about it, dude. Like, she was super supportive. Like, I think she was like, obviously my girlfriend at the time was like one of my first followers, but like, she was one of my first, probably within like 50 followers, I think.
hmm.
And she was super supportive about it, and eventually I kind of branched out, and I started unblocking my friends, and like I was so surprised by how many of them were like, "Dude, that's cool shit, like
Yeah.
that was awesome."
You
And like one of my best friends now, like he told me the other day, every once in a while he goes onto my page and just like looks at all of them because he thinks they're so cool, and
that's
I'm like, that's
awesome.
freaking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've struggled with the same thing in the past, like trying being timid about sharing that. And I mean,
Hmm.
it's not like I go around shouting it from the rooftops like, "Oh, I built
Yeah.
Lego. Did you know I did that?" That's
Right.
ridiculous.
Right.
But I'll never shy
But
away
not
now
hiding it.
from
Yeah.
from speaking about it. And one of the instances which was actually really stuck out to me now and like just really solidified to never like hide it
Hmm.
um was last semester in college, just welding school, like bunch of older guys in my like group, kind of like I wouldn't say like cool guy, but like that typical just like
Right.
jerk jock
Yeah.
kind of stereotype, whatever. Dude was like kind of arrogant, um, but whatever. He was, I don't know. He was an interesting character, but we were on the dock one day. It was actually like the only team based project we had to do. We made up like these support beams. Anyways, it was like a huge
Mm.
project, but whatever. There was like it's actually in some of my photos now, but it's like this just crisscrossed bar. I don't know, just like the X shaped whatever metal. It was all super rusty.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, this is perfect for my backgrounds. And I
Yeah.
went over into the grinding room, grabbed the angle grinder with a cutoff disc, and just like took a section of it. And the
What do you
dude
do,
comes up.
dude?
Yeah, the dude was just standing there on his phone. He's like, "So what's that for?" I'm like, it's for my hobby. You do like photography for stuff." He's like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Well, I make Lego figures, like
Yeah,
custom
that's
ones."
always the worst part. Like, you try to like make a generic. Oh, I do photography. And
Yeah,
they're like,
right, right,
oh,
right,
what
right.
kind of photography? And you're like,
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm here. This dude's been a dick all day. He almost got
Yeah.
into a fight with my buddy last week, like
Oh,
no joke.
nice.
And so I'm just
He
like,
definitely sounds like a bad hombre.
yeah, I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm gonna pull up my Instagram page now,
Yeah.
huh? And I showed it to him, and he's like, "Oh shit, this is like super cool, dude."
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Um,
That's not what I expected at
yeah,
all.
and he was looking at it. He's like, "Oh shit, that's from Call of Duty, right? That guy?" He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I love Warzone and all this stuff."
Wow.
And then he calls over his buddy, and he's like, "Yo, check this out," and whatever. It was like weird.
That's
So
yeah.
it's just like an unlikely character that would be
Uh-huh.
like accepting and kind about it. Like,
Wow.
so ever since that, I mean, before then, I was already like on the wave of like, no matter what, you just got to be
Right.
confident in yourself and
Yeah.
talk about what you love. But
Mm.
and not shy away from it. But
Yeah.
after that, there's just no doubt, like, if someone's curious about it. And then he was like, "Oh shit, you got 7,000 followers? What the?"
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, like once they realize you actually have a decent amount of followers,
Right.
it
That
becomes
that
so
changes
much,
the appeal for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think like doing little things like that, like if you're really self-conscious about it or afraid to let people that know about you being in this community or whatever, like take small steps, like show your best friend or something, show one of your siblings, whatever.
Yeah.
And it will only build your confidence. Obviously there's going to be people that are like, wow, that's fucking weird, like that's lame, but it's like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
But I mean, at least
know
it
what?
isn't like furry fanfic,
Right,
not that
exactly.
bad.
Dude, there's much weirder stuff that you could be into than friggin' Legos, like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, my stickers, I put one on the back of my phone. I don't
Hell
care,
yeah.
dude. I'm
Yeah.
at work, I don't care if it's showing, like,
Yep.
whatever. If one of my coworkers, takes the time to read the username on the sticker and search it up, which, I doubt they will, but if they do and they think it's cool, and they talk to me, like, okay, cool, yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm like one step away from like making an ASMR in this closet.
Oh gosh, please no.
Like
Billy, there's a line between your
Patreon and the
business
OnlyFans.
endeavors. Like ASMR is not one of the things that we need in the Lego community.
Why
Although
not,
Lego
though? Why
is
not,
doing
though?
it now. Lego's
Wait,
doing
what?
It. Yeah, did you not see that?
No.
No, yeah, Lego legitimately made like an ASMR. Like they had these
Stop.
two people. No, I'm serious, dude. They had these two people like get a bunch of different Lego bricks, like Duplo, normal Lego bricks, and like they're like testing all the different sounds that like each brick makes, and like
Oh my
trying
god.
to make a bunch of sounds.
It's like a whole. There's like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Lego white. Oh, Lego white noise. Oh, I see.
Mhm.
I saw this
Yeah.
like I saw the icon like advertisement for it, but I had no idea what it was, and I just didn't
Yeah.
bother. What? I'm actually
I-
kind of pissed because I was really trying to make the first
They
Lego
stole my
ASMR.
thing.
They really did, dude. I've been thinking ever since I made the YouTube channel. I'm like, man, one of these days I'm gonna make an ASMR.
That's hilarious. I can see how somebody would enjoy it. I mean, maybe not from you because you're just a little creepy, but
Right. Fair.
the Lego brick noises. I can see how somebody could like it. I mean,
I'm literally
personally,
gonna
I
have to
don't
listen to this
Find
afterwards.
myself listening to Lego bricks. 'cause
Actually,
I
hold on.
hear
Let me
enough
just
of
play it
that.
right now. Let me just play it right now.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hopefully, I don't get like copyright striked. Oh, they're flipping through the pamphlet,
Uh-huh.
the instructions. Oh, I hear a brick.
Oh, there it is. Oh wow.
This is entitled "Built for
Oh, wow.
Two."
This is actually just the sound of me and Billy building together right now.
Yeah. Yo, oh my god, that'd actually be so sick. What if I just played this in the background during the podcast?
Yeah.
Like, for every podcast, there's just a slight ambient noise of Lego being built. That's actually. I hate
Oh,
that
shit,
it's
I
kind of.
dropped a piece.
I hate that it's kind of a good idea.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm skipping into the meat. We're at 1340 right now. I'm gonna pick it up again. Oh. Oh. That's some clicking.
But yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
that
that's-
clicking?
That's a pamphlet.
I want to hear him crash something on the ground.
Just the middle of this, he's just like, fuck.
I feel like at this point, Lego just does whatever they want.
Honestly,
they're,
I
they're
couldn't
so
be
popular. There's no downside to doing this. 'Cause
I
they're
couldn't be
only gonna
happier for
get
them to
more
literally
people.
just start doing more and more obscure stuff.
Yeah.
Just like Lego just progressively gets more fringe. That'd be so hysterical.
I can't wait for the official line of Lego gun attachments.
I can't wait for Filth Lug to start a Lego Ideas
Oh,
campaign that
please,
gets
no.
accepted.
Oh please no! Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Lego is trying to appeal to adults, but not quite that much.
Right. Dude, you saw those big mosaic things?
Yeah, those are cool.
They're so sick, but they are like dummy expensive.
Yeah. Well, I mean
Like-
that's kind of the whole. I feel like that goes with appealing to adults. They're like, adults have more money.
Yeah. No, I think it's literally part of the marketing scheme that they are expensive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because it makes adults feel like they're buying something,
Like premium.
top tier or
Yeah.
premium. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna
It's
start doing
literally
for
just a bunch of
the
studs.
OnlyFans. Make it more expensive so people think it's premium, you know.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Right. You know, for a second there, well, I mean, I think I did share it when I did make like an OnlyFans as a joke, but I was just like the BM4 in my like profile picture. But then I lost the login, so I'd have to make a new one. But there was a moment there I was thinking about making like fake Lego nudes to put up there.
Oh boy.
I think that'd be pretty funny.
They better be minifigures.
Well, I was thinking about a mixed media sort of thing. Like, what if I think I even it's actually kind of disgusting that I actually spent the time working on this.
Yeah. No,
Hold
it
on.
is.
Well, I did a conceptual run, okay? It was an art piece. But I took like this nude model and then just took like a 1x4 and
Oh,
just
boy.
like stretched it.
Yeah.
Of course, like, you know, I don't need to describe.
Yeah. Can we move on?
You're
I
not
don't
excited
want this
about
to
the
be
Lego
what people
OnlyFans?
think of my my episode of.
Oh God. Honestly, this couldn't be going better, in my opinion.
I don't know. I disagree.
So we put up on the Instagram page just asking some questions, and actually there's like a bunch of really good ones. So just starting off, there was one from NATO Figs asking you what's your favorite video game to get inspiration from. And without you even answering, I could tell you the answer, but you can take it away.
Well, what do you? I'm interested. What do you think it is?
I think it's Rainbow Six,
Okay, so this
but
is gonna be a hot take for some of
Hot-
my followers.
oh,
I don't play Rainbow Six at all. I played it like once when it came out.
you're a fraud.
I don't play it. I don't like the game, if I'm gonna be completely honest. I like the operators, but I just don't really enjoy the gameplay. You know, I played the beta and then I played it when it first came out. I've played it like here and there every other year probably. I just don't really enjoy the game that much. I love the operator designs. The operator designs are cool.
Yep.
But I mean the turn that they've taken with the game is not at all what it used to be. Like at this point it's more of like it's literally like become like the story is esports, but like with operators, and I just think that's ridiculous. But I mean the operator's still cool though.
So yeah, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of the gameplay. Like I wanted to get into it because I was like into CS:GO and like I liked some of those like sweaty shooters where you had to really get
I've never
intense
played
with it.
CS:GO either. But
Yeah, yeah,
same thing. I like the character designs. I just don't like the game.
right. Yeah,
At least I've never actually tried to play the game. So
yeah. But I was totally turned off by Rainbow Six just because it seems by the time I was gonna actually play it, it was just too far into like it being a
the
game.
ridiculousness.
Yeah, like there was just no hope for me to actually want to try and play it. Like
Yeah.
I'll join one game and just get called bad words, and then
Yeah.
I'll go do something else. But yeah, I mean it's an absolutely great game to get inspiration from, no doubt.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, I get inspiration from a lot of games. Like right now, it's you know, a lot of it is Modern Warfare and Cold War because those are what I'm playing right now.
Yep.
A lot of the times, that's what it's based off of is what I'm playing.
Yeah.
You know, like when I made that Destiny minifigure, the Titan, it's because I got back into Destiny 2, and I was playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I love the art of Destiny, and I played a lot of Destiny 1. I played that up until Destiny 2, but like once Destiny 2 came out, like I don't know, I just kind of like stopped playing it. I don't even remember when I stopped playing it. I just all of a sudden stopped playing it and didn't touch it for like years. And then I recently picked it back up, and you know, I remembered how much I like the art of it and the character designs. Definitely Fallout. I love Fallout.
Yeah.
Fallout is just a super cool, you know, theme and aesthetic. And I'm not talking about Jackson. I don't like you, Fallout. You don't get no Vietnam for you. Just kidding. I like Jackson. He's cool. And he keeps track of the themes for Minifig Monday for me because
True that.
I don't like doing that.
True that. Oh man, I didn't even write that down. Yeah, you've taken over the mantle.
Yeah. I don't know.
How's that been
when I'll
hosting
be
that?
ready to pass it on, but it's fun. I mean, sometimes it's more work than I'd like it to be, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's cool. especially like when we did the community thing for people to recommend themes. We got a lot of content. Like, we're set for a long time.
Yeah, that actually is a great idea. I hadn't that like never came up when I was hosting it.
Yeah.
We always try to work it
just because I'm a better
internally.
host than you, but
I mean,
it's whatever.
You want to host the podcast from here? What if we just
I
switch?
don't know
You want to
about
do the
that.
outro? Do you want to do the outro?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how I feel at the end of this.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see Minifig Monday get revitalized again, and I mean, I think it's kind of just Minifig Monday's legacy and charm now that it kind of gets passed off to people because I inherited it
Yeah.
from Dubba Dude, had a run with it, and now it's in your hands.
How
And what
long
were you saying? You
hosting it for?
Oof, I don't know. I mean, 2 story archives worth.
Yeah, I haven't even swapped over from my first one yet.
Yeah,
So, I
it
don't know.
was. There was a bit. Hold on.
Maybe that's when we should switch. It's after it fills up 2 archives worth.
Well, mine's it's like 1.5, I believe, but
Oh, okay.
I'm checking when the first one was posted. 73 weeks ago.
Mhm.
I don't know what that is.
Math is hard.
Math
Don't
hard.
ask me to do
hard.
math because my brain will literally stop working.
Right. I'm with you there. Dude, I went on this job interview, and because it's like, welding, like spec oriented,
Yeah.
there was the dude actually hiring me, like, didn't ask any math questions, and he was like totally chill and just like, oh yeah, you could weld, that's cool. That's
Right.
all we need. And then like his supervisor or whatever, another dude came with like a problem that they were having,
Nice.
and he was like, hey, there was an equation involved, and he asked me, and I just had to stand there being like a retard.
Yeah.
It's that
Brain
was
no worky.
that was tough. I cut you off at the beginning there, but what did you say? You're ready to pass off the mantle already?
No, that's not. I just don't know when I will.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine with it. I'm good where I am.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm happy. It's there's been a lot of good content, and I mean the reason I was like, all right, well, I'm giving up. I'm giving up on Minifig Monday for now,
Mhm.
and it'll come back someday. Maybe
Yeah.
not with me, which just because people weren't as excited or contributing
Right. Well,
much.
and,
So
it came back very naturally because
Yeah.
the Minifig Monday chat had been dead for months, and then all of a sudden it just like
yeah,
blew
people
up
were
one day.
people were
Everybody was
like, hey,
talking.
I kind of want to make some minifigs again. So
Yeah.
no, it
And,
worked
I
out perfectly
think
like that.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine, and let it go through its natural life cycle rather than like, okay, let's stop Minifig Monday now, and then
Right.
let's bring it back in 3 months. But like, if nobody really cares, then
Yeah, there's no
point
reason to
trying to
force
push
it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful thing we got going to let Tanner win every week.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I'm gonna start banning Tanner from now on, or I'm just gonna like put a little side thing. Also, here's Tanner's entry, but you can't vote for him.
But you can't vote. You can look, but you can't touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Honestly, it makes it all the more richer though if somebody can dethrone him though.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I mean it's happened.
He's-
and
exactly.
There has also been a lot where they were close. Like
Yeah.
I think there's been once or twice where Tanner won, but like the other guy was like only a couple votes below him,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like it's the competitions like that I keep like going back and checking the stats for, because I'm like I'm on like the edge of my seat, like, oh, is Tanner gonna lose? Tanner gonna lose?
Yeah, he's the final boss of Minifig Monday.
Yeah,
Always
for
has
real.
been.
Every week though.
Yeah. Not last year. Last one was like it was Monkey Man versus Bean Man. Just
Yeah, that
great
was a
showdown.
pretty good one. That was a pretty good one. They were pretty close.
except somebody had plate feet, so he deserved to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
That's probably honestly the only.
I'm
reason why
honestly
they
not
lost.
even sorry. I'm not
Yeah.
even sorry. I still voted
like-
for him though, just for the chance that he could dethrone Tanner. But
Once I
Ah.
saw those plate feet, I was like,
did he really deserve, to be in
if you
second
use
place
plate feet,
there?
you're a degenerate. Change my mind.
Change my so much for not alienating your followers.
Hey, plate feet's totally different, man. Don't mess with the proportions of the minifigure like that.
It's okay. Plate feeders are subhuman. It's
Minifigures were designed how God intended. Don't change them.
Oh goodness, that's bad. So we touched on it briefly. Your Destiny commissions. But you're finally painting, which
Yeah.
is phenomenal.
I am.
In some of the founding episodes of Bricks and Banter, the guests and me, actually, I encouraged it, was to
Yeah.
roast you for not painting, and it
Yeah.
seems like
Don't
we
worry, I
finally
heard
made
it. I heard it.
progress. Yeah, you eventually heard it. Um,
It just took enough bullying to get me to do it. So
Yeah.
always remember, kids, if you bully each other enough, you can get each other to do things.
just about anything. You could do just about anything with
But
bullying.
for real though, don't bully. Bully's fucked up.
Absolutely. We don't promote bullying here unless it's Colin and making him paint.
It's different. Yeah, it's different to jokingly harass somebody to convince them to broaden their spectrum of ability.
Playfully harassing your brothers just to,
There's nothing wrong with that. And you know what? I'm glad they did, because guess what? I love painting. It's fun.
What do you
It's
know?
freaking awesome.
Yeah. Sean was very persistent with it.
Yeah, Sean.
he's been
I
an
think
OG
Sean
there.
was actually like the first
The
one
first,
to
yeah.
start
No
trying
doubt.
to bully me to paint. Yeah.
And everyone's just like, yeah, I'll tag in. I'll kick him while he's down.
Yeah.
Paint.
All it took was I messaged Griff Hoodie Studios.
Yep.
And I was like, yo, Griff, because we talk pretty often anyway. and I
Oh,
was
not to
like-
flex.
Yeah, not to flex. I'm friends with Hoodie Studios. But I asked him like if we'd be able to do like a video chat, and like he'd teach me some things, because I know a lot of people either learn just from doing it or watch YouTube videos, but like why not just go straight to somebody who like knows what they're doing and
Mhm.
I'm friends with,
Straight to
and
the source.
so yeah, like we did a video chat I think for like a little less than an hour, and I don't think well, I did post it, the medieval armor that I did with some
Yep.
of the rust.
Yeah, they
and
came
then,
out really good.
Oh, I also painted an old snow trooper helmet and a brick arms that like Star Wars armor chest thing to look like the Galactic Marine. That was more just for fun, because
Yeah.
I thought it'd be cool. But yeah, like after that, I learned a lot, and I was like, wow, I feel like I could actually do this.
Oh wow, I should have been
um,
doing this for months.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing that also I think kind of intimidated me was like the price of a lot of paints. Like I hear people always talking about like Citadel paints and stuff, and
Yeah.
how like elitist Warhammer painters can be, and that kind of like pushed me away from it, because it's like I really don't want to get into something like that.
That's fair.
But once I found out Hoodie's like, oh yeah, I just use paint from Walmart. It's like 50 cents a bottle. I'm like, okay, if he can do that, why can't I?
Yeah.
So I mean that was definitely something that kind of convinced me to do it too. So
I
I
don't think
mean-
there's any reason to start off with those super expensive paints, because you're
Yeah.
gonna waste so much.
well, yeah,
Um,
and the thing that Griff and I talked about is like, skill beats materials all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
with a lot of different hobbies or skills or whatever, like a master at his skill can use a $1 tool and do a better job than
Yeah.
a novice with some expensive stuff,
Yeah, absolutely.
because it's all about your experience. So I definitely do not buy into the like, oh, you have to buy expensive paints and expensive brushes and expensive stuff to be better. Like I'm sure some tools, like, yeah, they are better, but like I don't want to rely on that.
Mhm.
I'd rather start bare bones, basic,
Yeah.
before I start trying to buy expensive stuff.
Yeah, you gotta walk before you can run.
Yeah.
When I switched over to using the Citadel paints, I used again like the 50-cent dollar paints for
Mhm.
ever. My mom was crafty, so I literally just took her paints and started using that. I never
Typical scammer Billy.
you know me. Once I was like, all right, I'll finally gonna switch over to Citadel paints. It's like, it's an improvement for sure. Like, there's no
Right.
doubt that comparing the two paints, one is better. But had you given it to a Novi, like me, just being a beginner painting,
Mhm.
I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference.
Right.
or appreciated like the marginal
Yeah.
benefits that I'm gaining from it. So
Right.
again, there's really no reason to.
Well, and that's also something I wanted to do too. Like I didn't want to start with expensive stuff and not appreciate it.
Hmm.
So then, therefore waste more material. Because, like, when I'm painting now, like, usually I squeeze out too much from the bottle, but, like, it's a 50-cent bottle. Like, I don't really care.
Yeah, the main, and I'm like, I'm such a still an amateur painter, like in terms of like the technicalities and stuff. You're
Right.
not in the Discord, but for anyone who is, there's a Clue, aka Redacted, over there, and he's super into Warhammer stuff. Used to be just an OG veteran in the modding community,
Mm-hmm.
but he goes crazy in depth. Like I've learned
Oh, I'm sure.
just talking to him about painting, like from
Yeah.
events before, but specifically through the Discord. I every time he sends a message about paint, I'm learning something. Like I don't
Yeah.
know any of
Yeah.
this. What's so interesting to me is like he uses like 4 different types of paints depending on the project and like
Oh,
in
okay.
different orders.
Like
So it's
what
like
each paint does
yeah,
better.
like oils, there's like wax paints or something. I don't know. Like he's got all these different
I don't
like
know if I want to get into all that.
no, dude, it's like insane. Like I couldn't believe it, but
Yeah.
the only benefit I see from when I'm using the Citadel paints, and it's enough to keep me using that, is just that I can water them down significantly, get
Right.
my smooth surface, and they're still maintaining a really saturated color.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's enough for me. They're staying
Yeah.
like with a strong
I can see
pigment.
how that'd be really good.
Yeah, yeah, it's useful. But
Now, are those still acrylic?
yeah, yeah, Citadels are
Oh,
acrylic.
okay.
There's some like the Model Master stuff.
Right.
Those that's what Tanner uses, but they have oh crap, what's it called? I can't remember what the enamel
Mm-hmm.
and acrylic in like the same kind of line and bottle shape. So you gotta be careful between the two.
Yeah.
Apparently enamel like can screw up your like the plastic, but I've heard from
Uh,
Ferg that he
I could
uses
see that.
enamel and it's totally fine. So I don't know what to believe. I don't have
Who?
actually any hand-on experience. Ferg.
Oh. Oh, he
Yeah.
paints?
He's done some modding stuff,
I didn't even know that.
but yeah, I don't know what to believe. I'm just gonna stay away from an animal to begin with. So
Yeah. For sure. For sure. For
for
sure.
sure.
For sure.
Have you used Do you clear coat your stuff with like a sealer afterwards?
Yeah. Yeah. I use it's the same thing that Hoodie uses. I pretty much bought whatever he told me to. It's the
Simp.
Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Matte
Oh yeah,
Clear.
that's exactly what I have.
But I definitely want to get different types of clear coats because I've been watching some painting videos and
Oh.
different clear coats can achieve different effects, like especially for like visors and stuff. If you use like a semi-gloss, it won't quite be like shiny, but it's not gonna be matte.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a nice little sheen for like a glass or whatever visor.
Hmm.
So I definitely want to do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. The reason I mentioned it though was the out of necessity I ended up using like an enamel spray,
Mm-hmm.
like clear coat matte, and I was just like super scared applying it. I'm like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
But it
Well,
works. I
yeah.
haven't
I
had
mean,
any issues with it. So
yeah, I was kind of scared too. Like I thought it was gonna build up and get like clunky or something, like gross. But like you almost can't even tell that you did anything to it.
hmm
But it protects the paint, so
yeah, it
cool.
really does. I actually like the matte finish that it kind of gives it too.
Mm,
You just gotta. The only times I've ever had an issue with it, was like I didn't shake it up enough. So once I
oh
applied it,
yeah,
it had like a hazy look, and it totally ruined what I had working
right.
on. But yeah, shake your cans, boys.
Shake your hands.
Shake your cans. In the train of thought of painting and all, there was another good question that came up on Instagram. Was do you view Lego as a means of artistic expression or more as a hobby?
I think it totally depends on the person. I mean, the direction that we, you know, generally as people, but also this community have taken it. I would definitely say more artistic.
Mm.
Um, especially like once you start getting into, custom, like actual custom making stuff, not just, fig bashing
Yeah.
with parts. I think that's more of a, it's still artistic expression, but, once you get into like actually creating something with your own hands, painting, modding, whatever, truly making something your own. Not that I'm trying to knock like, making your own minifigures, because there's stuff that people make. I mean, like for example, like purist pages.
Mm-hmm.
I don't generally, really like purist pages, but sometimes I see them and they blow my mind, because it's like, the ideas that they have with, you know, official Lego parts. It's like, dude, that's better than what I could do with custom parts. So like, that's definitely, there's a level of artistic expression through that. But I think it just gets more in depth the deeper you get into like truly personally customizing parts.
Right. Yeah, putting your touch to the items.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a weird mix, and I like this question a lot because it's something I've thought about, like trying to distinguish whether or not it's a hobby or an art,
Mhm.
And I'd say probably when I'm more down on myself, it's only a hobby.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt about it. Like if you look at hoodie stuff or
Yeah.
other like
Right. They're
customers with like
literally
that.
works of art.
Yeah, it's just the Lego is the canvas,
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah, I would say my best customs could be perceived that way,
Right.
are more of an artistic piece. But then I'm not above just doing a quick little fig bash, with some
Yeah.
combo pieces, and
I mean,
that's more of just a hobby having fun kind of deal. So
I think your best figs are closer to being compared to like dog turds, but that's
Mm.
just me.
I on some days I don't disagree with you. But you caught me on the wrong day, okay? I
Okay.
actually like my figs today.
I like your figs too.
Only today. Well,
I'm just messing with you, mostly.
now you had to make it wholesome. That's like weird.
I mean, to be honest, I hate you though, so
Right. Hate you
Right.
too. But
Yeah.
I guess you're like the first enemy I have that's on the podcast,
What?
Are you saying what because everyone's my enemy and I just don't know it, or
Yeah. We're actually all conspiring against you.
Gotcha.
Enough is enough.
Kinda-
Cancel Billy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I could get ahead of it and start my own cancel campaign,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, that did nothing but line my pockets. I mean, people still hate me, so what am I gonna do,
Alright.
Moving on here, we got another question from the GOAT himself. Okay.
Oh, I already know.
The
I already
man-
know who it is.
The myth, the legend, Nathim Lego.
My boy Nathim.
Shout out Nathim. Okay.
He hyped me up before this.
Yeah, he was giving you
Yeah.
that pregame
Yeah,
pregame pep talk.
Yep. Yeah.
He believed in you, Colin. You don't better not
He
let him
does.
down this
He
episode.
does.
So he comes in with a banger question.
Mhm.
Should they bring back ModCom?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'll start off here
Okay.
if you want.
No, yeah, you're good.
Well, you see, I say I'm going to start off, but I actually don't have any idea what I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
No, I think I'm very interested to hear what you say about it, just because you weren't like around as it was
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I was around, but I didn't get any of it. I got it
Right.
all secondhand, like way after the fact. I think it'd be unique to have around again, but I think it's a nice relic of the past to just keep there.
Mhm.
And now it being like present and in people's thoughts is kind of pushing them to actually mod, because they can't
Right.
just go buy something to
Yeah,
plug and play
exactly.
with, because they're like,
Well,
oh
and-
well, like I want that piece and I could get this ModCom like
Yeah.
8K, and it's a cool fun relic, but it pales in comparison to actually modding,
Mhm.
in terms of A, like the fun factor, and B, the quality of it, because you can see all the little gaps and stuff.
Right.
And
yeah.
the ModCom itself, if you had a substantial amount of ModCom, it would act well. Yeah, I mean, I guess this could kind of go two ways, because once you have a bit of ModCom, it's really pushing you to actually mod stuff yourself,
Right.
because you're like, oh well, now I have this, but I want it to be on this bit instead,
Yeah.
and vice versa, and being like, well, I could cut this off, and
Well, and I think ModCom should be used more like in addition to, at least basic modding, because like you said, I wasn't really around for ModCom, so like I wasn't around for the heyday of it or whatever, so I didn't see a lot of what people were making, but just from what I see from the parts, I feel like it's pretty limited to what you
Yeah.
can do with
You
it.
didn't
Like,
miss out on much.
yeah, like I definitely feel like I have accomplished more with it through, using them as extra attachments or, using parts of them
Mm-hmm.
rather than just like it's like the same thing with fig bashing. Like, it's just swapping parts here and there. Like, yeah, you can make some cool modcom weapons, but it's, they're plug and play. Like, I would much rather see somebody make something personal and custom than, just the 20th AK variant, but this time it's a black stock.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it kind of went down a bit of like a tiny tactical route, but with brick arm stuff, which I guess I wouldn't mind seeing again. Like, obviously, I'd love that. But
I don't
yeah,
think there's anything wrong with it. I just don't really think, it needs
needs
to
to
be
come
brought
back. Right.
It could,
Yeah.
but yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
need to.
I'd want to see it. I'd want to see it come back in a different way.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there's still
Either different attachments or, more versatile.
yeah, yeah.
attachments.
I'm not even thinking necessarily like, oh, it has to be. Well, we got to come back with new attachments, so it's not a duplicate of what's out there already. Like, that's not like I want to see the concept expanded on, because like a modular system like that is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, like Minifig Cat kind of has that. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
trash,
what I was
but
gonna say. Even with Minifig Cat, like, yeah, it's kind of trash, but I like the idea that they have.
right. Yeah.
But I mean, that's honestly a lot of Minifig Cat products, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah. Well, the guns at least, because
Yeah.
all the wearables slap.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they got wearables locked down for
A
some
lot
reason.
of their guns have good attachments, but like
Mm-hmm.
when they put them all together, it's just ugly.
It,
But like I bought a bunch of Minifig Cat guns, and one day I just took them all and chopped them all up and saved all the good
The good
parts and
bits.
threw away the ugly chunks.
that's a smart idea. Yeah, because it's kind of intimidating to look at them and be like, "Well, this is trash." You
Yeah.
kind of shut down on what could actually be used off of it. It's not a bad idea. I might do that. But so I mean, I guess in summary, yes, but also no.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Trying to give some attention to Amanda so he doesn't rip my throat out tonight while I'm sleeping. He's a little shithead, dude.
He's just like,
destructive.
Oh yeah, 20 minutes without attention. I see this shit, bro. I'm gonna.
Well,
I'll
I mean, the
remember
thing
this
is,
at 2 a.m.
I play a lot of video games and stuff too, and we had another cat, but it was my sister's, and she recently finally took her to her new house, and
Mhm.
he loved harassing that cat.
Oh gosh.
So I feel like he's been kind of lonely, so
Mm,
I need to give him more attention.
mm.
And also because he's been so freaking shitty, he keeps destroying my mom's curtains. So like now my mom blocked off the stairs going upstairs where my dogs usually are. So now he's down here all alone
That
all
sucks.
freaking day. Yeah. And I feel bad.
When we moved, about like 6 months into our new house in PA, this random cat just shows up on our porch, and it was like supposed to be like the coldest night of the season or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So my mom, like, we're big animal lovers, so my mom's like,
Oh, that's awesome.
she just goes to my dad, Bill,
Yeah.
we can't leave him out there.
We need to let him in.
Yeah, so obviously he stayed the
Dude,
night.
I hope I find a girl like that. I 1000% be like, hell yes. Let that freaking cat in.
So he was chilling, and then after that he kept coming around. We would feed him, and then
that's why, because you kept feeding him.
exactly. So then it was like, all right, well now it's gonna be winter.
He's our cat now.
Now it's gonna be winter. He can't stay out in the winter. And so we cut a brand new metal door in like the
Oh,
offshoot to
nice.
the great room, because there's like two
Yeah.
doors, the main door into the great room, like from the outside. It's like a weird setup, but anyway, there's like a side door in the great room, which is also typically where he comes around and we feed him because it leads off
Right.
into the deck. Anyways, we sit there, we freaking cut a hole to put a cat door in for this guy. So he starts living in that room, right?
Yeah. And
with the
just
with the door
slowly-
closed. And I the second we cut that door, I told my parents, I'm like, he's gonna be living in that. Well, me and my mom are kind of allergic to cats.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't stop either of us, but you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it's just like he can't be like around everything and like just on top of
Yeah.
everything, you know. So I told him just straight up, I'm like, he's gonna be around the whole house, whether you not like it or not. My mom's like, no, he can't be. I can't have him in the
Yes.
house. Bro, right about now, I bet you he's sitting on my dad's lap in the living room. Like, the door, like, it started with the slow progression of him being in sometimes,
Yeah.
and now the door just stays open the whole day.
That's
And he
awesome.
just goes freely.
So does he goes outside too?
Yeah, no, he's living the life, bro.
Yeah, maybe he's just chilling in other people's houses too.
I don't think so.
He's
With
just
the amount of
community
time,
cat.
with the amount of times he spent on that couch, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, he
That's
gets
awesome,
to live
though.
the life
Random Cats are
outside.
the best cats.
Yeah, I think he's a total sweetheart. I mean,
Yeah.
we brought him to the vet and he had a chip in him, so he was somebody's
Oh,
cat
really?
that got dumped. Yeah, and he found us. So
Yeah, I found Mando on my way to work one morning at like 5 a.m. He was
Right.
sitting on the side of the road, freaking like, I think the doctor said he was like 4 weeks old.
damn,
He's just sitting
That
there
is
by
really
himself.
young.
Dude, I'm so surprised I saw him because it was so dark outside. And I turned onto the road, my lights just went right over him, and he like looked at my vehicle. I was like, "Were those eyes?" And I got
Yeah.
out, and he was just this tiny little thing, like shivering. It was about to be winter. I'm like, "Holy crap! I cannot leave this dude outside."
it was fate.
It was,
And now you got a little Mando.
yeah. He just bonked his head on the table. But yeah, I actually I smuggled him into work that day.
Oh right.
Yeah, because I didn't want to leave him there until I freaking got off because I knew he was not going to still be there.
Yeah.
And then I brought him home and didn't tell my parents because I knew if I did, they were going to say no. So I brought him home, and then my mom came home, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, come here. Got something to show you." But he was
Oh,
such a
man.
sweetheart at the time, and now he's just a freaking monster. Is that right, Mando? You're a freaking monster.
Before my cat, his name's Oliver, but I was very anti-cat.
Oh,
My
really?
my girlfriend has 2 cats. The one's a total prick,
Oh, yeah.
but then the other one's like a real sweetheart as well. And so
Yeah.
that cat was starting to work on me slowly,
Mhm.
and then now this one is like, all right, I'm not a
I
cat
hope-
person yet, but
Yeah, you're on your way.
we're getting there.
I'm an everything person, dude. I just love all animals. Dude, we used to have a ferret, which we also found outside. He was in our neighborhood, and my mom and my sister, were on their way home in the neighborhood, and they see this little thing scurrying across the road, and they get out, and he just runs right up to them.
Damn.
He's like, "Yo, what's up?"
Someone
And we
probably
took him home and
I w-
posted, and nobody wanted it. Like, nobody claimed him.
really.
Yeah.
Damn, that's messed up.
Yeah, like ferrets aren't just out in the wild.
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna
he
say
was
like somebody
obviously
might have
somebody's.
just.
And ferrets are expensive, so
Yeah, that sucks. But hey, ferret,
yeah.
free ferret. So for Copper Dropper this week,
Mhm.
first up we have Sergeant S'more, which is just this Citizen Brick commission figure for what is this, full stock bricks, something like that.
FSB.
Oh, fresh stock bricks. My bad. He's got some misprint versions in typical CB fashion.
Yeah.
And this is just about the closest to a recent military release we're
Yeah.
gonna get for
That's
Citizen
pretty
Brick. So how
sad.
are you feeling on that?
I'm gonna say it's a drop. I think it's a cute idea.
Mhm.
But personally, there's really nothing on it that I would use, and it's not worth the money for me to have. The most useful thing is the legs, and they basically look like some
Lego
official
ones.
Lego legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not worth the money for that.
Would've been cool if there
I
was a
like
shoe
it.
print.
It's cool. Yeah. Shoes would definitely be awesome, but that's expensive.
It is.
But yeah, it's cute. I personally drop it.
It's a really unique design. I like it. It's very in style with the latest CB stuff.
What,
a cool
useless? Hot take.
Hot take. Very
I'm about
based.
to get
That was very
flamed.
based. You're about, but you know me. I'm gonna have to pick up the pink one.
Yeah.
You know how
I
that
mean,
goes.
You're a slut for
You know how
pink,
that
so
goes.
it makes-
Don't even come at me though, cause you've turned into a bit of a CB slut yourself. Okay.
What? Dude, I have not bought anything for the past several drops.
No, I'm talking about others, like commission wise and other shit.
What do you mean?
You turned into a bit of a slut there. Don't lie to me, bro.
I mean, that's what happens when you're in that group, let's be honest.
yeah, it is. It is. Have you recovered now? Are you recovering?
No, I think I'm just broke.
Fair, fair.
But I had to get that Chrome MD fig, the red one, because I already have the.
Oh,
blue
you got the
one.
red one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
okay, I almost
so-
carjacked you, so.
Well, the thing is, somebody else got it. It was not supposed to be on the site.
Oh.
Yeah, he told me he was gonna save it for me, and he totally forgot, even though he wrote my name down, and he posted it, and I messaged him, and he was like, "Oh shit, dude." He's like, "I know the guy that bought it. I'm gonna go talk to him, try to work out a deal." He basically worked out a deal to give him like a few free minifigures for it back, and I was like, "Dude, I really didn't expect you to do that, but I'm really glad you did, because that was like one of the only ones I wanted."
Yeah, Nick's really reasonable with that stuff. He always goes out of his way to make it right, so
Yeah.
I gotta appreciate that.
Yeah, that was cool. I already have the blue one, so I'm really, I'm waiting to post a red and blue.
Yeah, that's gonna be
back-to-back
badass.
picture. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it would have made things even easier if I had gotten it, but no big deal.
So you could dick smoke price me.
Of course. In true Citizen Brick fashion, you know.
Mhm.
So next up, we have the Among Us
Yeah,
custom
absolutely
figure
not next.
by Minifig Madness. This one is just for Jake. I had to put it in here. Just I
okay, moving on,
absolutely hate
moving on.
this.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's bad.
Great. So now on to finally some good food.
Here we go. I'm ready
Eclipse
for this.
Graphics, the new gloves. So
Oh,
in me and
yes.
Mason's episode last week, the bag was just posted on the page, so we were like,
okay.
ooh, hype.
Yeah.
But we didn't know what was going on. So we see the white tactical with the gray tips. There's
Honestly,
armor-plated
those
tan.
are probably my least favorite ones of the drop.
I'm with you. It also looks weird in the photo, so I don't know if it's blue or gray.
No, I think it's gray.
Oh
I
my
could-
god, is this a black and gold dress or whatever? It's
Honestly-
it's very turquoise looking to me.
Okay, definitely not turquoise. I could okay, dude, this is totally like the dress, 'cause now
Whoa.
it kind of looks turquoise. Now that you just said that, I could totally see how you might kind of think that's blue, but I'm pretty sure it's gray.
Yeah, like if he's called it gray, it's obviously gray. But
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
no
yeah, he
doubt
did
the
say
white
gray,
balance,
too.
because I mean, you look at the background.
Yeah.
I bet actually I should just edit this photo and like change the white balance like I
Yeah.
do for my normal photos, and it'll totally turn out gray. But anyways,
Or
and then
just
the
make
armor
them
plated,
super bright turquoise.
or just make them blueprint. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
And then the armor plated light flash.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a total cop. I do
I like those
kind
a
of
lot.
wish that like he had combined that with the fingerless. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah.
But,
No. Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. Like if there was a gap
that's
in between,
basically
that would be
twice the
crazy.
price for a hand because it's two different prints. So
I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind either, but he might mind.
No dark tan gloves this time,
Yeah, no dark tan gloves,
but
but
supposedly on the horizon. If you're in the Discord, Vic was giving a little sneaky. He's like, "Oh, maybe." So we'll see. We'll see. All right, and that's all. You've made it through the gauntlet of copper drops.
cool.
Thank you for being on, Colin. This has been a great time.
Thank you. I still hate you.
Yeah, you've shown your hate for me through how much
Mhm.
editing I must do for this podcast. So
Facts.
thank you very much. But seriously, this was a great time. Thank you for
Yeah, it
coming
was. It
on.
was fun. Thank you.
Any last words for the viewers?
Don't be embarrassed about what you love, and don't be afraid to, post what you love and, share it with people, but don't necessarily, tag all your favorite accounts on every single post that you make. But if you do make something that you think one of us specifically would like, then
Go ahead.
you can either DM it to us or or tag us. You know what? That's cool. But I definitely like to see the community grow together and communicate, because communication is knowledge, or knowledge is power. That's what I was looking for. And the more that we share and talk, and the more ideas that come. So
No doubt. And there was my conversation with Colin. Sadly, he's not going to record the intro. We totally forgot about it by the time the podcast wrapped up. But I appreciate you all listening. If you're interested in supporting the podcast, you could leave a review for us on iTunes or share it with a friend. Either one just helps out the podcast a lot. Speaking about helping the podcast a lot, thank you to all of our patrons over on patreon.com. We have Seth, Luger Enthusiast, Tupolev, Mike, Justin, Francisco, Dashbricks, Milo, Jbricks, and PK Custom Lego. If you're interested in becoming a patron, you can check out our Instagram page. It is linked in the bio. All of your support really means a lot. Thank you all again for listening. Make sure to come back next week as I talk with Jeremy, aka Commander Turtles.